I guess I kind of faint pretty easily. Like I'm a little goat, like a fainting goat.
Okay. How long have we known each other?
Oh my God, so long, like 4 years. I remember shortly into my relationship wanting to own my sexuality more. Like during sex, I wanted to be more in charge. I was having my period and I suggested that we have sex in the shower. This was one of our first shower sex moments. It was like you released me from the locker room at a game, like at halftime. Like I was so ready. So what I do is I like jump into the shower and without even really being anywhat aware of what he was going through, I like mount him. This is gonna be kind of graphic,
Okay,
but we're family.
Yeah.
So like I mount him like this and I'm holding on and my face is like right here and I'm just thinking. Like I'm just thinking the whole time, I'm like, you got this, Becky. You're an animal, you're amazing. But as I'm doing that, there's no thought of like what he's doing. In this 5 minute, it's very brief, in this 5 minute period, there were a few just kind of like sounds, which weren't on brand for him, but I didn't think anything of it because once again, I'm like so in my head just like, yeah, you're killing it.
And it also sounds like sex sounds though.
Kind of, but it was slightly different than his usual.
Okay.
But I was just completely in my head. It was not about us. Out of nowhere, I'm like this, and then we just go down, like smack, because he passed out. Because it turns out that he had just gotten off a flight.
Oh my God.
And 6-hour flights are very dehydrating.
They are.
Once he came to, like he fell, boom, and then I'm like, oh my God, and then he like kind of woke up quickly, and I was like, you didn't say anything. You weren't saying anything. He's like, yeah, that's it. I couldn't even say anything. And I was like, oh yeah.
Because you were fainting.
Because you were fainting. And I might have noticed that it was deathly silent for almost 5 minutes had I not been just like, yes, Becky. It's good to want to own your sexuality, but it's still a two-person event.
Yeah, you still have to listen to the other person.
All right, so when I was about 11 years old, I was in Catholic school and I was altar serving one day. I was with my sister and it was really hot and the incense was terrible and I passed out and I started leaning backwards.
So this is in church?
In church, in front of everybody.
Okay.
And it was a Sunday, so it was really full. And my sister thought I was just screwing around, and so she kind of hit my back to make me sit up forward, and I just flew forward and hit my head on the ground and fell off of the bench we were sitting on. My parents were in the church watching, and so they freaked out. A man in front of my parents tried to get up to come help, but my dad pushed him down, ran up, and started charging towards the altar, and the priest, not knowing what was happening behind him, was freaking out, thinking he was about to be attacked.
So it looked like a scuffle.
Yeah.
But you're just passed out on the ground.
On the ground, yep.
Oh my God.
My dad comes and picks me up, but as he's leaning over to grab me, he rips his pants in front of everybody and takes me to the back. And when I wake up, there's a really old deacon giving me the anointing of the sick, which is part of the last rites, a sacrament
Like,
that...
Is that when you die?
Yeah. Yup.
Do they think that you died?
I don't know. He was old and probably just thought, better be safe.
Might as well anoint her. Oh my God. Literally.
So this story happened 3 years ago. Spoiler alert, I'm the one who fainted. Becky was there. So this is an awkward fainting story that involves both of us. Honestly, for me, the whole thing was not traumatic because I don't remember what actually happened.
God.
So Becky and I live on the same floor of the same apartment building
How
now.
cute is that? We live in the same apartment building, so it's literally, you can just like come over, it's like the show Friends.
Our apartment's probably not as big as the apartments in Friends, but that's fine. So basically, I was touring their building this day to see if I wanted to move in. We're standing outside on this like terrace, literally as I'm signing the application for like the background check for like the apartment.
Like you were like, and how much is the rent again? And she like tells you, you're like, oh, okay, and then you go back down to sign it.
But apparently I'm kind of like slumping over and I say not once but twice, oh, I don't think I feel very good.
Oh, I don't think I feel very good. Like she's keeping herself like presentable as she's falling over.
Yeah, and apparently then I just crashed into Linda, who's my best friend I live with.
Oh my God.
And I literally fell into her. And then, which was good because it was a tile floor.
You were out for maybe like about a minute or two. It was scary. It was enough time that we went upstairs, got a rolly chair, and our landlady got her husband's blood pressure machine. Her roommate Linda's on the phone being like, 911, 911. And then we look at Caitlin, and actually Caitlin was like, And then Linda's like, wait, are you? And you were like, yeah. And it worked, because then she was like, okay, never mind. Because you played it off.
I just did not want to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. I was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. Yeah, so it kind of like, to this poor landlady, it probably looked like she told me that the rent was more expensive, and then I passed the out.
Hydration is important.
Yeah, hydration is important. Stay hydrated.
Mine is not nearly as crazy, but I'll still tell it. I guess I kind of faint pretty easily. Like maybe it's a blood sugar thing or a fear thing. Like I faint when I'm giving blood. I have no control over it, and it's really frustrating. One time I was getting my eye examined at the eye doctor. And you know how,
I don't like where the story is going.
and you know how they do the kind of like glaucoma. Have you ever had this done where they blow air into your eye? Mm-hmm. So like your head is like in this like metal contraption, and they're just like blowing air into your eye. And I started to like feel faint, and I guess I just fainted inside of the machine.
Oh no.
When I wake up like on the ground with like my mom and the eye doctor standing over me, the eye doctor's like fanning me and like very concerned and like so scared. He said no one had ever fainted in his office before.
You were the first.
I was the first. And I still have no explanation as to why. I think I maybe was just afraid. Have you ever fainted before? What's your story? Comment below. Also, I want to know if there's other people that have fainted during church, because I feel like churches gets hot.
It does. It gets really stuffy.
So I want to know if others have experienced that as well. So comment with that specific thing.